Hi, this is Dusty King with King & King here with your Landlord Tenant Tip of the Week, and this is a special edition of the Landlord Tenant Tip of the Week. Yesterday, on March 25th, 2020, the Tennessee Supreme Court issued an order extending the suspension of in-person court proceedings and also extending certain deadlines. But for the folks who own investment property, there's one paragraph contained in that order that is of extreme importance. The order states, and I quote, "Given the increasing economic issues caused by this pandemic, no judge, clerk, or other court official shall take any action to effectuate an eviction, ejectment, or other displacement from a residence during the effective dates of this order based upon the failure to make a rent, loan, or other similar payment absent extraordinary circumstances as determined by a judge in a court of competent jurisdiction. Nothing in this order affects the obligations, terms, or conditions for payment under existing contracts." So let's break that down. What does that mean? Well, that means right now the court, number one, has delayed any in-court judicial proceedings until April 30th. It was obviously not in that paragraph, but that's essentially what the order does. So that means any hearings, we're not having any hearings except for a select few exceptions that don't apply in this situation. So we're not going to have those hearings. This is also saying that we're not going to take any action, or the judge or clerk is not going to take any action that would effectuate an eviction, ejectment, or other displacement of a residence until this expires, which this order is set to expire on April 30th. What that means is, if you already have a judgment for possession and you seek a writ of possession to have the sheriff remove or help you remove the bad tenant from your property, that's not going to happen until after April 30th. More importantly, well, that's obviously important, but also another issue is that nothing in this order says that the tenant, doesn't have to pay rent. As long as the tenant is there in your property, the tenant owes you rent. So even if you get a judgment for possession in, say, March 15th, and they're there till May 15th, well, they're still going to owe April and May's rent. That's what that order and what that language is specifically saying. So what do you do? Well, I did have the opportunity to talk to the Madison County Clerk's office. I've been informed that we are able to file eviction actions. The initial docket call in Madison County and other counties, it may be an actual hearing, that will not be set until after the expiration of this order on April 30th. So from a property management standpoint, I would say it's business as usual, except there's some delays. I would take this opportunity to review my lease. I think you may have heard me say previously, one key provision in the lease that I like to see is a waiver of notice of non-payment. What that means is essentially the tenant knows when they're not paying the rent, and the Uniform Residential Landlord Tenant Act allows a lease to specifically waive the notice, which means the landlord does not have to give the tenant the notice that says, hey, you haven't paid your rent this month, you need to get it paid. You can waive that notice, but it has to be in your lease agreement. So I would look and take the time to make sure that provision is in there. If it is not, you have to give 14 days notice. So I would go ahead and do those things that you can do. Send out that notice letter, post it on the door, mail it to the address. Do both, actually, to go ahead and have that step out of the way so you're not delayed any further. We can go ahead and file these actions. So in Madison County, chances are we're going to have a really big docket on the first Monday in May, assuming this order does not get extended. It can get extended. It's already been extended once. This is actually the order extending the original order that suspended in-court proceedings until the end of March. So we're now bumping it another month. We'll see what happens. I think the more you can do to prevent the spread of the COVID-19, the better off you are. and the better off we all are. I mean, this is obviously dealing quite a blow to the economy, and I think anything we can do to prevent that, we need to take those steps. At King & King, we're able to meet with our clients and potential clients either by telephone or the use of technology. We can do video conferencing. We can share documents that way. The courts also, in this order, the court's also taken some steps to alleviate some normal requirements that will make things a little more efficient during this time. So there are things that are being done that we can continue to keep going. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. The number is 731-664-6864. My email is dusty@kingplc.com. That's KING, P as in Paul, L as in Larry, C as in Charlie.com. You can check us out on our website at www.kingplc.com. If there's anything I can do, any way I can help you, feel free to reach out and be happy to do so. Again, my name's Dusty King with King & King in Jackson, Tennessee, and this has been your Landlord Tenant Tip of the Week.